Hello and welcome back to your Puerto Rico Home Matchmakers. This is your host, Teresa Santos, and I am here with some information regarding the biggest problem that Puerto Rico has on the island right now, which is inheritance, and how difficult inheritance is here on the island. But I wanted to bring a solution to this problem, and I hope that this will help some people out here to really realize that there is still hope for these properties that are abandoned and future properties not to be left abandoned. Okay, so one of the things that I've learned as I've been here in this journey in Puerto Rico is that if you own a house, you inherited a house in Puerto Rico, and there's there's situations, and I'm just going to give you an example today. So if you inherit a house and somebody just says, hey, Teresa, let's say my mother told me, Teresa, I'm going to leave you the house. Okay. But I have two other brothers, right? And she just verbally tells me that, and then she passes on. So here in the island of Puerto Rico, inheritance goes in equal parts to all parties, right? So if there's 3 children, you're going to get 33% of the house, right? Because it's distributed in equal parts. Now, if my mom was married, then at that point, her husband or my dad would have gotten 33%, and the other 66% would be divided between all 3 of the children. Okay. So, and just keep in mind, I am not an attorney. So if you need legal advice about this, obviously, please give me a call and I'll refer you to an attorney. But this is just for your information so that you can be better prepared on how to handle if you inherited a property here in Puerto Rico. Okay. And then I'm going to give you some ideas. So if you stay on here, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to avoid inheritance issues in the future. Okay. So if you inherited something, and again, my mom just said by mouth, and I'm here thinking, oh well, my mom left me the house, guys. It doesn't work that way. Okay, when you go and do probate, you do the declaratoria de herederos, all the children are heirs. Okay, all the living children, and if one of those children passed away, then it goes to their children. So so it's a process, and it's generational. Okay. So it becomes a very big problem. And that's why 350,000 homes on this island are abandoned, because most of them are inherited homes that people can't find a solution on how to get that home under their name because there's too many heirs because they waited too long. So my first recommendation is, if you inherit a property from your parents or from whoever, take care of the probate immediately. Don't wait, because the longer you wait, the more possibility that there's going to be more heirs. Because I'm just going to use an example. If there's 3 brothers, right, and they inherited the house, and now one of those brothers passes on, right? And you still haven't done the declaratoria de herederos, right? You still haven't done anything putting that property under the rightful heirs' names, and they're still under the original person. What's going to happen is, now one of those kids passed away. Now it's going to be the 2 brothers plus all the kids of the brother who passed on. Okay. So now that, if that brother had 6 kids, now it's 6 kids plus you 2 brothers, right? And the longer you wait, the worse it gets, because now if you wait a little longer and another one passes away, now you have to add their children. And so it becomes a very long process to get the properties under the rightful heir's name, because you waited too long. So please don't wait. If you inherit a property, get the probate done as quickly as possible. If you want to sell the property, you have to do probate anyway. So if you want to sell the property, I do have attorneys that are willing to do the process and get paid at closing if you agree to sell the property when you're done. So connect with me so I can connect you to them. Now, the other thing, and then I can sell the house. The other thing is what can we do about this problem that might solve a lot of issues in the future with future homes here on the island? we can do something, you know, because there's a lot of people that say, oh, but my mother left it to me. She told me that it was my house, right? I'll use an example that came in today. This gentleman calls and he says, well, I inherited this house. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's great. And he goes, and I want to sell it. I'm like, okay. Who did you inherit this house from? Oh, my dad. I'm like, okay. And may I ask whose name is on the deed? Oh, the name on the deed is my father's aunt. Okay. So how did you inherit this property if the name on the deed is your aunt's or your father's aunt's name? So now I have to ask questions. Okay, was your aunt married? Did your aunt have any children? No, she didn't have any children. She was never married. Okay, so did she have any brothers and sisters? Yes, my father and my uncle. Okay, so now after doing all that, I'm not going to go through the whole process, but after going through everything, he thought he was the heir, and in reality, there was 8 people that inherit that house, okay? It's him and 7 other cousins who inherited that house. And he thought that because the aunt left a will saying that his dad was the owner, right? That he was gonna inherit the house, that now the house automatically went to him and his brother, which is not the case here in Puerto Rico, and that's why so many cases fall down the cracks and people just don't want to deal with it. The other mentality was, well, I've been maintaining the house and, that should be my house. I understand that, but legally it is not your house. It belongs to all 8 of you if you do the probate. And then now you would have to go through the process of seeing how you can sell that house if all 8 heirs agree, right? So he says, well, forget it. I'm not going to do anything, because I'm not going to go through all this trouble. And then they get, a portion of the sale of the house because all of them are heirs and they're going to get their proceeds if he sells the house. So I'm not going to pay for everything. And then, and I've been maintaining the house and doing everything. And now everybody's going to benefit. Forget it. I'm not going to do anything with the house. Right. And then we got into another conversation, but that's a different story. But that's how complicated things can get here if you don't do the probate immediately. By verbalizing is not valid. Even writing it on a will is not valid, because wills, when it comes to housing here on the island, do not work. All the children and the children's children and whoever is alive are the inheritors of the property in equal parts. So how can we avoid future dilemmas? If your parents or you own a house here on the island and you want to leave it to someone in particular, let's say you have 4 children and one of those children, you want to leave it to one child in particular because the other 3 already have their houses and this child just doesn't have one, and you just, they've been there for you, you're going to leave it to them, okay? You can't just say, oh, I'm going to leave you the house, or even do a will leaving that house to that person, because the will is not going to work. The laws here overpass or oversee the will, okay? Yes, they can live a will for their assets, any other assets other than homes. But what you can do to avoid that is that you can donate the house. So for example, if I had one of my kids and I wanted to donate that house to one of my children, because the other 3 already have it, I can do a donation to that child and with what they call usufructo here in Puerto Rico, which is similar to a ladybird deed, okay? You transfer the deed under that child. I can transfer the deed under that child's name with the usufructo, which means I still get to live in the house. I still have all the say-so about the house. I still can do whatever I want with my house until I pass away. Once I pass away, that house will automatically be owned by that one child that I'm leaving the house to, and my other 3 kids can't do anything about it because they're not heirs, because that house was donated to that child while I was alive, okay? That child cannot kick me out of the house. They cannot say, oh, it's my house now and you gotta go. No, you have full rights to live on the property until you pass on. And once you pass on, then that child will receive the inheritance, okay? And that is called a donation, una donación con usufructo. Again, you can contact an attorney, and if you need one, I can refer you to a trustworthy one that can do that for you. That will avoid a lot of headaches in the future, guys. A lot of headaches when it comes to herencias, right? When it comes to people inheriting properties here on the island. And it's gonna help so there's not any more abandoned homes here, right? Because that is what's happening. There's so many abandoned homes because nobody wants to go through the process of probate. And by the time they do, let's say one of the grandkids now wants to take action, now that grandchild has to go through a huge headache trying to get that property under their name. So again, make sure that you're doing things right from the beginning. Now, if you want all your kids to be heirs, then you don't really have to do anything, because when you pass on, those 4 children, if I passed on all my 4 kids, if I do nothing, all the 4 kids are going to inherit the house in equal parts. And then they're going to have to figure it out as what they want to do with the house. Now, there is, you know, some people will ask me questions. Well, Teresa, like, what if I can't find, you know, there's 6 heirs and I don't know where 3 of them are? Well, there again, you have to speak to an attorney, but there's ways of still doing the declaratoria even if those 3 other people are missing in action. There's still ways that we can do that. It does not mean that those 3 people will not and get their money when you sell the property. They're still going to get whatever is owed to them because they're still heirs. But what's going to happen is that the money, let's say let's say the winnings were $100,000 and you're dividing it between 6 people, right? So that division, even though 3 are missing in action and you don't know where they're at, the 3 that are missing, still that money is going to be put in an escrow account with the community or with the Hacienda, the Department of Housing. It's going to be put in an escrow, and it's going to sit there until somebody comes and claims that money. If that money is not claimed, it will automatically go to the municipio or the Department of Hacienda because nobody claimed the money. So there is an expiration date to that. So it's really important that if you know where they're at, that you let them know, hey, we sold the house without you, but you can go pick up your money in Puerto Rico in the Department of Hacienda, okay? So that is very important for you to know as well, that you cannot just because you can't find 3 of them, it doesn't mean that you can't sell the house, and it doesn't mean that without them, and it doesn't mean though that they're not going to get their inheritance. They're still going to get their inheritance no matter what, okay? So I hope that this helps. Please give me a call at 786-226-7145. I hope that this was able to at least give you some ideas on how it works here. And again, don't get frustrated. It might take a little while if you have a situation like this for that you have to do probate. But you'd be helping a family here in Puerto Rico, because if you decide to sell that house, then at least you're helping another family here that is in need of a house. And there's a shortage of housing in Puerto Rico in a price where people here on the island can actually afford. So if you have a house that you can even donate it, once you do the declaratoria de herederos, you can even donate it to someone, or you can sell it, for a reasonable price so that that person can go ahead and afford that house. And, even if you don't make any money, it's okay, because you weren't making any money on it anyway. It was just sitting there. But now at least you're helping a family here on the island to help us keep the island here with the people of Puerto Rico. Because if we don't start doing something, this island is no longer going to be Puerto Rico. It's going to be the next Hawaii. And the people here are just going to be exited out because they won't be able to afford properties here. So let's find a solution to the problem. Let's not be part of the problem, and let's do something about it. So 786-226-7145. I hope that this helps explain the process. Please share, please comment, send it to someone who you think this information might be helpful for. I'll try to record it in Spanish on my next video, but it's very, very important that this word gets out to help situations like this. Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you on our next video.